Representative McLaughlin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm having a serious issue with this. We're talking about underserved rural communities, yet 3 weeks ago Whole Foods closed in Chicago, as did Walmart, which is a significant grocer, two of the most well-capitalized businesses in the country, and now we're having a government program step in. In my opinion, and it's not just mine, I mean, this is unbelievable to me that we are going to suddenly be the financiers of the private capital market, which should be driving the decision. I see Representative Candy shaking her head, but, you know, Ronald Reagan said it best, there's nothing so permanent as a temporary government program, and I have to agree with Representative Reich. You know, the cradle-to-grave government's one thing, but grocery markets now are really getting well beyond the pale. So please make me feel comfortable in this model. Since private capital doesn't seem to be able to do it successfully, perhaps public safety in these communities might be the solution to food deserts. And I love that term desert, Representative Candy. To me, it causes heartburn because the entire state's a desert at this point when we can't serve the public properly without a government intervention program. So if you can make me feel more comfortable, I would appreciate that.
Sure. This particular program isn't any different than other economic development programs other than it really focuses on small businesses. So it's not a continued subsidy for that. It's just providing the impetus for the initial startup of a business that may hire between 7 and 40 people in a small rural area. The difference, I think, there is, as was mentioned, these are very slim profit margins. And the models presented in this don't require that profit margin. They are required to cover their own bills, but they're not required to make a profit. And that's, I think, the difference between the capital investment from private sector versus this. This would just be a one-time start like any other economic development program.
And without that profit margin, it worked out well in the Eastern Bloc countries for many years when there was one coffee. And I'm telling you, this makes me a level of nervous in government intervention in the private sector that I can't believe we're having this conversation. And further, during COVID, the private sector couldn't make it work. Now the government sector is going to step in. So I can't more strongly say how I think this is such an overreach on what the taxpayers send dollars down here to do, that it isn't something that I can support. And frankly, the conversation is unbelievable to me at this stage.